All right.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, ayes have it. All right, we're going to move on to number 7, which is to approve our consent items. It's the financial reports for the city side of Bevel Oaks, the Public Works report, and utility innovations, previous meeting minutes, and the previously presented 2023 audit, and that's what Milt just got finished doing. Can I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
And a second.
Whatever.
Who did the second?
Bud
Bud,
did.
okay.
You made it first.
Doug.
Doug. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Oh, I lost my name. All right, number 8, up for review, and these are action items. Consideration, discussion, and approval of 24-25 general operating budget. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Doug makes a motion, and a second.
Second.
Any discussion?
Wait a minute, this is the city side budget.
This is the general operating budget, and now we're in the discussion part, yes.
We just approved the tax rate. You're moving faster than this.
Yeah,
You're moving faster now.
Okay,
This is the one that we show a $21,000.
right, so we need to take that,
deficit at the higher rate, so now that deficit's going to be $41,000. Is that correct?
correct, this is a general fund.
All right, I'm going to suggest something. I looked it over at this one. If I look at the budget that's listed in here, it shows us as a $21,641 deficit. And that's with the $141,000 revenue from taxes. And so I've got to subtract that difference from what we accepted as a tax rate, so that makes a delta.
Negative 41.
$41,000.
And now it's negative 41.
Okay, so that's $41,000 we're in the red with this budget. I personally have a problem with accepting a budget that's in the red.
Amen.
But because I do that, I'm going to have some recommendations.
And that's fine, why don't we
And I'm
go,
going to go through all of them, and you can kick them around, whatever. If you've got your sheet there, I'll try to go in order. And my goal is to try to make this zero. There's only 2 ways that we can cut that deficit. One of them is increase the revenue, and the other is reduce the costs. Well, we reduced some of the revenue with the tax base, so that's created the $42,000. The first one in revenue, I think we could get more revenue from rental of this building. We only show $500 rental, and that's about 1 or 2 rentals in a year. I'm saying that number could be easily raised to $2,000.
so then we'll still be
Okay.
18.
I'm
Okay.
gonna have to, I'm sorry, guys, everybody's gonna make it. I'm gonna have to go to my whiteboard.
I'm gonna leave if it goes, if it, seriously. So,
Just stay in this one.
fine.
Do y'all happen to know about how many building permits that we've done
We have,
last year?
we have an
Yeah, I'm
existing
looking at
budget, a beginning budget deficit of minus 21.6.
Ones with the contract
Okay? And the tax rate that we accepted created an additional
What am I asking?
20,000.2. So that means
Maybe
$40,000 in the hole.
that's fine.
It's at the existing cost. So my suggestion is, one, the income, we give 1.5 thousand from the rental of the building. And then if you follow down on the sheet, I know y'all don't have that, if you look on your sheet, you can go down to the attorney fees. Now, the attorney fees, we've added a second column under ordinance control. So that makes a total of 20 on there plus 10 on the ordinance control for a total of 30, and that's about a 50% increase.
Where are you at, Jim?
He's right here.
He's all over.
I see the 20.
Okay, the other 10 will be on the next page underneath ordinance. All right, so we have that, we have attorney listed twice. One of them where you break it down under ordinance.
But that's also something that you're going to for the attorney fees, this is on the abandoned homes, and that's a placed.
Just hold it. Okay, everybody find
Yes.
out what I'm talking about?
Got it.
Okay. All right, so I'm suggesting reducing those total fees by 5. For the simple fact that Drew's been working on that, he's been working on these homes. I don't think that total number will increase 50% by working on ordinance. My own opinion is, and Drew, you jump in here too, is that his time that he spent in this other part will be shifted more to the ordinance controls. So instead of going from 20 to 30, I'm saying we're going from 20 to 25, and that's reducing our budget by 5,000. That's negative.
But we're budgeting about 5,000 per house that's
No,
included.
I'm not, I'm just dealing with whole numbers, annual whole numbers.
Well-
That line number over there says, if you add up those 2 attorney numbers, that one under ordinances and the one up under hire. Now, that doesn't include the attorney fees and the public works part. Okay? Now, this is just my proposal. I could also, there's also a line item on there that has capital expenditures, $30,000. I have no idea what that is. Nobody else seems to identify that. So if I don't know what that is, take it off. We'd ask
Amen.
everybody to identify the budget, bring it in, identify them. Nobody's got that number on there, it's 30.
And that should bring you whole.
The other one is grounds and maintenance. We've picked that up a little bit, but we've added some money. If you look at those total, there's 3 or 4 items on there. I'm saying reduce that by a total of 6.
What line was that?
6500-10, which is ground maintenance.
So ground maintenance, there's 3 or 4 line items under that. Reduce that total by 6.
Jim, can I say that, can I ask you something?
Sure.
We're under contract
For 16.
for that. And if you reduce that, we're not gonna be able to pay what
We
we're under
come back to
contract
city
for.
council for approval. If you go over the budget, even though he's reducing it, you bring it to
I mean, I
council.
have a hard number.
That's okay.
I have a
We
hard
can bring it
number.
to council.
Well,
How much it
okay, I'm just telling you where I am, and we'll,
I
we can look at,
Okay.
I don't remember exactly what it was, but it's right, let me write it down here. It's right here. It's the total of the 27.5.
Yeah.
Maintenance and grounds 20, parks 2.5, equipment 5,000.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't know what that equipment is.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
Okay, so rather than say specifically one of those items, I said between that,
Okay.
those 3 items grouped together, 27, that will make it 21. So if I look that up, I got a plus here that's coming, this adds to the top, and the negatives here, so I end up with 6, 11, 41.5, and I'm making money plus $700. Let's have a party.
Let's buy donuts.
That's it. That's all we need to cut. I'm good
And
with
if you
it.
make those cuts on the budget,
What would be the negative aspect if, you know, if we do this cut? What would be the?
the negative aspect,
Yeah.
well, this would be the big one, obviously, if somebody's got a project that comes up, hey, we would like to build a
Water tower.
no, I'd be on my budget. But, you know, if there's something, it's not in the budget, and you heard what he said, which was really, I'm surprised that answer.
Yeah.
That if it's not on the budget, we have to come
amend
back to it. So that water tower wouldn't be on the budget, we would have to come back in here, and then the question would obviously be, where are we gonna find the funds?
So there's
for
really not a negative, really. I mean, it would just.
There's
be that
not.
we would do- The money would actually be used in a better
No,
spot.
because we don't know what that was, that's just a filler, that was a number.
So
on it.
Jim-
No, it's not. I was here last week, that's $30,000 was estimated for the roof repairs.
No.
No,
That's,
that's,
that's what Charlotte moved it to, was capital.
she didn't put it, she
There
didn't.
there was
Not that
talk
one.
about that, but this, that was,
I'm telling you.
this
Yeah.
is, you're not off, because that was discussed, but
Was it on the
the
other
roof
side?
repair, first place, we think the roof can be repaired and not have to be.
Right,
In-house.
right.
In-house.
So,
And the other thing is that's, the roof repair would probably come off the insurance money we've got.
Yeah, we've already got that money for it.
So,
I
Jim,
remember
where
moving
is
it
the
to capital
5,000?
Because you didn't know where to put it.
We not to move. I mean,
So-
Yeah, okay, hold on, Doug.
Okay. Something that came to our attention this week. we know that we have contractors coming out here and doing work and not pulling permits. Okay? So,
That's money right there.
so we're in the process, of just got informed this evening, okay? We're gonna start putting some more signs up that at the entrance of Bevel Oaks, telling all contractors they must come by City Hall first, okay? I estimate that we're only getting about half of the revenue that we should be getting on permits.
All right, well, so what's that's gonna do? I mean, right now,
Push the revenue.
if we know that and we put that in the budget, then this number right here, one of these two will be less. And we won't need as much of that. But we don't know what that is. It's not
We
in the
don't.
budget.
You're
If you've
right,
got a
you're right.
number that we can put in the budget, we go, I agree with you. I
So-
think we can get more money for that because, but here again, we got to have somebody that's gonna, enforce the codes and be on it.
Jim, where's the first 5,000 being cut from? I've got the,
First 5,000 was.
Attorney fees.
The attorney.
off of the ordinance enforcement.
I took it, no, I didn't take it off there, I took it off the.
No, but that's okay, I mean, because I'm gonna be the one that's gonna be doing the abandoned homes. Let's take it off of that part, which is
Well, you can take it off
here.
either one you want to.
That's fine, because if I go over that, then I'll bring it to council.
That's what, yeah, that's
Yeah, so
probably.
let's
a
do
good
it that
thing.
way.
Okay, that's up to
All right,
you.
so-
I mean, this is your budget, I'm just helping.
That's okay. I mean, no, this is
My
good. I
budget's
mean,
next.
that's all right. So basically, right now, the general consensus is we're gonna cut the budget from capital expenditures down from 30,000 to 10,000, ground maintenance to 6,000, and then 5,000 off the attorney fees for the abandoned homes. That will bring us actually to a positive cash flow. I'm okay with this. If anybody else has any input, and if you don't, we can make a motion to vote on this.
I make a motion, we accept the budget as amended.
Can I have a second?
I'd second
Second.
We're gonna
All in
discuss-
favor?
We're gonna discuss it now. We make a motion,
Oh,
we second,
okay,
we're
sorry.
gonna discuss it, because nobody, I didn't get an opportunity to interject.
That's what comes next.
Okay,
Any more discussion?
so, under community development, we have a community development other for $6,000, okay? So what is that for?
It wasn't in my budget that I turned in, I don't know.
I don't have, well, then if it's
Which
not,
one?
then that needs to go.
Which one, bud?
Community development other, is under community development. Do you see it? $6,000.
The 6,000, yeah.
What's that for?
That's what Charlotte, basically, she put in different things like water spigots and improvements within the community to develop.
Painting the
That's-
basketball goal.
Exactly,
replacing
basketball court.
nets, doing stuff like that.
That's considered
painting on the,
community development.
Doing the paint on the basketball court. That's what that's for, just like upkeep of the community development, yeah.
Yeah, it's not, and I know where it can become confusing. It's not the same. I can see where it can become confusing, because with that being titled community development, you're thinking that it's the same, budget that he has.
No, I see his 13,000, it's right there.
But, I mean, yeah, right.
It's right there in front of you, I'm just saying,
It's
community
basically
development others,
Correct.
6,000. I mean, I'm just trying to figure out what we're gonna spend that 6,000 on, or how that, I mean, under community development, that includes other stuff besides just events or,
Yes,
Yes.
the maintenance of the parks
Or any equipment.
or equipment,
That's different,
that's different.
That's under parks.
huh?
Parks is a different.
Yeah, parks is a different line
But
item.
it's also too, like flood management for the Lomas for $1,000. I mean, for me, I asked for the Loma dollar amount to be put into community development, because for me, getting people Lomas to get them out of AE into X is a community development type thing. It develops a community once people come in.
That's a benefit, whatever
It's
you call
a
it.
plus benefit all the way around. I don't want to pay AE rates. I mean, I'm lucky I'm in X.
You know, I mean, if none of those are objectionable, you've got a
I'm fine
balanced
with it.
budget. Now, if you've got some other things that you think ought to come off that are more significant than that, then we go back and add something to that and still be balanced.
You can do that during your amendment, if you want to come back and redo the budget at a later time, too.
Yeah, and there's also some possibilities on revenue, Emma's listed you know, I didn't know we get more than $8,000 off of permits, yeah, maybe so.
Awesome.
The other thing is too, we talked about having a financial officer, maybe we can get a little more off of interest than,
Yeah.
than we get, of course, the interest
We
rates.
are gonna
It's,
Well,
and I'm
interest rates
taking
went
the
down
classes,
today.
but taking the
Now,
classes.
I want to confer what Doug said is the maintenance on the roads. I mean, our roads are in pretty good shape right now.
Yeah,
So,
your road is not mine.
well, we got some that need some help.
Thousand Oaks isn't good.
We got
Well,
some that
but
need some
also
help.
too, keep
I
in
got
mind,
potholing,
Bud,
man.
the road maintenance is covered by our franchise fees.
That's
what our
right.
franchise fees
That's
are
right.
for.
And we got 20,000 in there, and like he said, on normal circumstances, we don't spend 11, 12,000, something like that. Is
That's
that what you said a while ago?
About 15, 16,000.
So,
Okay, so 20,
let's
so
take it to
20 we're
15.
covered pretty much on road maintenance. What we're saying is we don't have to go out and spend 20 just because we're budgeting 20.
Right.
And like Milton said a while ago, which confirmed what we said earlier is our city hasn't operated at a deficit, okay, or in the red. We said we've operated in the green in 23. I mean, yeah, no, 22, that was 22.
He said
wasn't it?
23.
No, it's 23.
He said 23.
23, okay.
Not if
We operated in the green in 23, not in red, okay? So make no mistake, we didn't operate in the red last year. So we plan, with the budget that we had last year, possibly we could have been budgeted right at square, you know, right at the bottom, but we typically don't spend all the money that we budget for.
Correct.
And even if we have to come back and get some more money, if something happens with Jeff or something happens with me, then I have to come back to the council, which we're gonna cover that in just a little while. And we come back to the council and say, hey, man, you know, this popped up. You know, what can we do this? What do y'all think? We got 6 people that can decide what do we think. Instead of just one person making that decision based off his budget, you know? So
Yeah, you're
I
right.
have another thing to add into the budget, is one thing that okay, like community development other, okay, that's what I'm getting back to. $6,000, okay? I have a bid from our lawn maintenance guy for the flower beds that people have at the entrance of Bevel Oaks at our sign, okay? He will redo that flower bed with bull rock, put plants in there. He said knock out roses, whatever, but clean it up, put bull rock in there, rearrange the rock, trim the bushes, and make the front look better for $500. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
That's a win.
Put it on the agenda.
Well, that's-
It needs to go on the agenda.
Is he done yet?
Well, I mean, hey,
Do we have any more discussion?
we got a bid a while back. I got a bid a while back from a lawn guy, our previous lawn guy, and just for the office, which has been like that since Harvey, okay? Just for the office was $2,500, okay? He's willing to do the office for $1,000. Come in and put bull rock all the way around it, put plants in it, and clean it all up and make it look nice.
So, you said $1,000?
Yes, sir.
We have, under 6100, -15 seminars and training, since nobody have an interest in actually continuing education. and being
61
better.
what? Say it again.
6100-15.
15.
Seminars and training, supplies, travel.
That's
That'll give you,
Extra $1,000.
that'll give you extra 1,500 right there.
Yep, paid
Let's
for
take
it.
it out.
I mean,
that's an extra
nobody's
$1,000.
not, anybody on this council want to
2 lines down is the other one he's talking
I mean, I
about.
do, but, I mean,
I see it, travel.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay,
So
so
we can take that out.
there's,
That's a flower.
There's a-
Total amount you
there go
need,
your flower
3,000.
bed.
and then we have one more bid. Doesn't matter, I mean, I don't have a dog in this hunt, but, I mean, this flower bed out here in front of the Civic Center, okay, it's shot, man. It's got a tree growing out of it. The plants that are in there are dead, okay? He wants to put some better bushes there, taller, since it's not up against a building. Then, you know, he wants to put some bigger bushes in there, get that cleaned up, put bull rock in there. It's a pretty good size little flower bed up there, but to make this event center look better, he wants $1,500 for that one. The whole total cost of doing 3 together is $3,000.
$3,000.
Well, lawn and
According to
maintenance, that's.
council, yeah.
But that's up to y'all.
What's this guy's number? I won't come.
That's no
He's out here all the time.
Any more discussion?
Yeah, just make it an agenda item and
Agenda
we'll
item,
revisit
we'll
that
vote on it.
next meeting.
I
But
mean,
it's,
Well, can we put it in the budget?
I would say, let's figure out where to do it. There's 700 right there you can get, so you need 2,300, you already said
I
700.
mean, but we
but
still,
we have the budget for the parks already, and we can keep that under that line item.
Well,
But we need to actually decide on this, because we do have guests here, because we need to pick our grant writers.
Well, wait a minute, let's
So-
fix,
Yeah, wait
let's
just a
get
moment.
this budget
Not
clear.
quite finished,
so,
yeah.
okay,
Yeah, we're
so-
almost there with this
Almost
book.
there. What else you want to cut?
Wait a minute, so you're saying we're gonna add,
If we add 3,000, can we get 3,000 somewhere else? I mean, I'm asking you.
okay,
Well, we already took
I
out
I'll
15.
already give you 1,000, right?
took.
Yeah, you told me 1,500.
Yeah, about
Got that.
15, yeah.
We took 6,000 out of maintenance. We're at 27.
Can we use 1,500 out of CD other for that? Community development other, would that be worth it, Jeff? Since that's under yours, to do this out
Well,
here?
I'd still like to talk about the budget that I submitted at our budget meeting that we didn't talk about the other night.
Well, we need to talk about
Wait a
that.
minute, wait a minute. I think
Take
back,
everybody,
it's right.
we kind of agree that that's worthwhile. To me, that's worthwhile.
That's
doing
worthwhile,
something.
absolutely.
So it's 3,000 bucks, and so that 6,000 that's up there, that now becomes 3,000, because that's where they.
What else do you need, Jim? How much more do you need to cut to put in his flower bushes?
We need to cut 3,000 minus 700, 2,300.
All right, take that difference out of code enforcement for the abandoned homes. I'll take that. Take it off my budget.
All of it?
All of it, whatever you need,
2,300.
take it off of there.
Yep,
What
some
about
flower beds.
Where it says,
violation notices?
correct, where it's $25,000, which is basically I'm budgeting $5,000 per house to clean them up. I'll do it for less.
You saying code enforcement other, or are you saying violation?
I'm
notice?
saying
Violation.
violation
Okay.
notices that are $25,000, which is $5,000 per house.
Take the whole 3,000 out of there?
Whatever
Why
you
not
need
take
to
the
do.
other like Lonnie said?
Whatever you need to do, take it from that, from the violation
Well, let's take
notices.
the 1,500 that Lonnie said, and
Plus
then
that,
we only
yeah.
need 1,500
Okay,
out of there.
Hey, we're
That's what we'll do. So 1,500 off of that, the 1,500
Lonnie's
that
is right.
Lonnie suggested, that's your $3,000.
Who's going to input this in?
Y'all are gonna have to slow down, because I don't know what all is being taken out.
I got it.
We all out
Sabrina.
of order, I mean, but it's.
All
right, any more discussion?
We're going to take $2,300 out of violation notices. Leave out everything else like I suggested, that'll make it a zero.
Well, let me ask y'all this, do y'all want to do these flower beds?
We just approved it.
Yeah,
I mean, it'll look
we'll
better.
make Charlie do it.
Approved it, yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
We're going to add, instead of these three numbers right there, the 27.5 that we took 6 out of,
Okay.
we're only going to take 3 out of.
Okay.
And so that'll be, those three numbers we told you, 24.5. This number will be reduced to 2,300. We had 700, and we may be plus or minus $70 one way or the other, but I don't care.
Okay.
You have all that wrote down?
Jim's got it written down.
I got it written
All
down.
right, any more discussion?
Well, Jeff wanted to go over his
Budget is
community.
balanced.
If this budget balances
It's
with the
balanced.
budgets that we submitted the last two budget meetings, I'm fine with it.
Oh, you don't want to go over this one?
Yeah.
Because this one
No
doesn't
need to,
match
it's
what
it's
you-
balanced.
what
It
you
it does,
have in
it
there.
matches exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, because the total budget here is 20,000 and over here it's 13.
So what I submitted is an itemized budget, and it,
I see it. I
okay.
have it.
Then there was no discussion about it in the last two budget meetings. If it is still in the budget now and we've made everything balanced,
It's not.
We're-
You've got
we're in a positive.
13,000 in there, Jeff. 13 for events in here, right?
then there's,
Right there.
for whatever reason, they were split out, plus the 1 plus the 6, that makes 20. So they took the budget that I set forth at 20,000, and they, looks like it's been divided now 3 ways.
I see that.
Okay, and I don't understand that, because there was no budget discussion when I submitted my budget at our budget meetings. So,
I'm just saying, if we approve this budget like it is, you're gonna have $13,000 for events.
so I would like to review the
Plus
budget
6.
that I submitted.
Okay, that's what we're trying to do.
Okay.
Okay, so there's another 7,000 that got cut out of Jeff's budget that,
Well, how much of that CD and others? what
Well,
it is.
sometimes the CD and community development
Well, they only use
other can
1,000.
be considered the lighting for the pavilion, things that are extras that can roll over from event to event. So it's like you have consumables, you've got things that are not consumables. These are things that roll.
Well, putting a plug on all four corners
Well,
of that
we
that
are,
little
but
big
we're also
building, I mean.
splitting it up a little bit. I mean, the $1,000 I put in there basically took away from Jeff because I did the Lomas for the citizens, because I consider that community development. But also too, with his 13 and 6, he can bring his events to the city council with his budget, and we can vote on it, and then he's covered.
Well,
I mean,
that's
it's
what's
there.
gonna end up having to happen if we approve.
And that's
the
fine.
Parts from the horse
I mean,
again a little
because
bit.
what he turned in for Breakfast with Santa, I have a $100 budget. And I'm gonna stick to my $100 budget because that's what he proposed. I'm willing to stick with that.
Yeah, there's been no change
No
in
change.
the event budget for, what, 4 years? I think you were the one that actually
He's the one that
I'm the one that
started
increased
it.
it? Right.
20,000.
Right. And it was very well thought about when you put it in. I think there was some citizen involvement, and then they met with grief and they pulled out. And so it's been sitting on the shelf now for years and years and years. And whenever I was installed, this was an activity that was given to me, and this is the parameters I was supposed to stay within. And my budget has stayed within those parameters. So we've got expense statements on each and every event. They've continuously, well, from the first one through the second, to the third, to the fourth, everything has been well documented. And even the last event that we did, we had actually a $65 gain for the movie because we've found sponsorships. And so I intend to continue to do that, to find ways to minimize. But the budget that I listed line by line, event by event, was to maintain. I didn't ask for any more. I just maintained what's been in place for the last 3 or 4 years.
Okay, let's just start with this. Let's start with Boogie on the Bayou Car Show, $3,400. When you presented that to us, you said that was going to be at no cost to the city. Zero cost to the city.
Back it up. That's not what I said.
Okay.
I said the city's going to front load just buying the shirts, and that's all we did. We still have tangible assets in the shirts, and we're still selling the shirts as it stands. I made a mistake and got a little zealous over buying too many shirts, but we've still got, I mean, there's not dated. There is a first annual on the very top, but we've already had other investors that have agreed to take lots of these shirts, lots of 25, and there'll be the single sponsor on the back of the shirt. We've already got a bid from Cotton Cargo to customize these shirts. So, for instance, Gary Watson Racing could have Gary Watson Racing on the back of the shirt, Boogie on the Bayou on the front, and it would cover our cost on these shirts. We've already gotten 2 very big hits, and we've only stopped, the car show only stopped this Saturday. So we've only been calling 2 or 3 people with the idea, just kind of checking the weather, I guess you'd say, and they've been very well received. We've sold 1 lot. We've got a second lot of 25, and they're $400 per lot. So it won't take but about 2 more of those, and we're really down below, right now at $2,200 for that entire event that the city is out, and that's still with tangible assets.
With that being said, I would like, how many people actually attended the car show? Okay.
Wow.
Was it your money well spent?
Yes.
Okay, so what are we talking about?
I'm talking about how much it is each line that he's proposing.
Right,
That's what he wanted to go over.
I mean,
Jeff wanted to go over
I wanted to go over the budget that I presented.
That's it, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Okay.
No, it's not.
This
He's
is,
short basically $7,000 if none
I mean,
of
yeah,
that
we got
CD
all of
and
that.
other goes
It was well
to
spent.
Yeah.
this presentation he made here a couple of weeks ago.
So Jeff, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
So you kind of have, right now, I'm looking at a roadmap. In other words, you've got a vision for 2025 on what you want to do in respect to shows. So what would be wrong with keeping your budget just like it is, with no changes in place, and you know that the senior citizens activities, let's just say you're going to do that in February. I have no idea when you're going to do it, but let's just call it February. What would be wrong with you planning that ahead of time and then coming to council and saying, this is my proposed budget, this is what I have in place for this, and this is the monies that I want to spend, and then give the council the opportunity to critique that. And I say that with this. You and I, if you remember, you and I had the conversation on the T-shirts, and it might have been after the fact, I don't know. But nonetheless, because I had T-shirt experience sales before and been there and done that, I could have advised you, you know, Jeff, I wouldn't put first annual. I would have just left Boogie on the bio, and now you can sell them from now on, not just first annual. And just things of that nature. So if you present each one of these to the council, because 5 heads beside yours are better than one. Sure. You may learn some things that, and with that being in place, I would say I'm good with that.
Very good. Very good. I accept that. I accept that. And to your point, when you know, there's strength in a host of witnesses.
Absolutely.
That's why we had a team. And I didn't come back to council for this, and I should have, because you're the car guy. You know, and you have great wisdom. You're actually a great business owner, and I've told you forever, I admire you and what you've accomplished. But we leaned on the people that were part of our committee, and we had 20 some odd people that helped.
Well, lean on us.
Yeah.
Well, listen, you know,
I mean, I think you did a good job.
Say something too. When it came to the cab group meetings and things like that, I mean, myself and none of the council bothered to come. I mean, I take my blame for that. I mean, I should have stepped up. And
Well, this was a subcommittee. It wasn't just a Citizens Advisory Board. This was a subcommittee. There was the car show.
We can all help, like Gary's saying, you know, rely on us.
So
Bottom line is,
let's
city
get
council
back.
people are responsible for the money.
Right, yes, we are, and we just had I know this is not the whole population of Bevel Oaks, but, I mean, majority said that their money was well spent. I mean, so let's reel it back in. We're talking about the budget for community development, right?
Yeah, not just that one event.
So, yeah, I think we got way out there. Talking about the budget of community development.
So if we take money from the CD funds, is that going to limit?
It's gonna tie his hands.
Well, CD, I think,
Not if you
stands
come back
for
to
community development. I haven't seen it on this like that before.
I don't think you're taking funds from them, you're just redeploying them to where
Yeah.
you think you're getting the most bang for your buck.
Absolutely.
And, I was there, I was at the car show, I thought it was excellent. I talked to a few I'm not a car show guy, I just brought my old car there, but there was people that are car show people I talked to, and they were very complimentary of it. And, I think Jeff went through a critique with this committee, what was good and what was not, and that's the thing. First time events are never gonna be perfect. You do something, you learn from it, and you move on. And there was some positive things. Jeff admitted he made a mistake on the T-shirts, he'd done it differently, and that's all you expect.
Well, it's the first one we've had, I mean, I've only been on it for a little over 10 years, the first car show we ever had, you're gonna have some mistakes made.
Oh, yeah, you.
But I don't, what I'm concerned about is if, let's just say we do another event like that again, I think you guys need to come together a little bit more. I think that's what Gary was stating. That way everyone's on the same page.
With the council.
Yeah, with the council, and that way, because us as citizens of this community.
Well, we represent you.
Guys, if we want to go to these events, you know, this is our community, we want to go, we would just like to kind of be a little bit more transparent with us, because some of us, I've just heard some bullshit, I'll be honest. Money's being spent here, money got made here, where'd this money go? And I don't think these people really even know, and I don't know. That's why I'm sitting here right now.
Yeah.
Because I kind of want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
I don't always get to come to the city council meeting. I work 3 different jobs, 17-hour days. I'm tired. But I think the car show was a big hit. I mean, I even talked to some of my buddies back and forth. They're like, man, if you weren't 5 hours away, I'd drive my car up there.
Wow.
You know? They might, who knows?
Yeah.
But I think we should continue to do that. And I think we should also budget for a larger car show event, because it's probably going to keep getting bigger and bigger. We'll probably, you know, maybe get a 1701 out there. You know, I got some friends that own Smash Burger in the Old West. they're my good friend, you have those guys come out maybe, get it set up a little bit more organized.
Well, the goal, the goal, the vision, the goal was to bring money here.
Can
So we can make money.
Excuse me,
That's why I addressed it.
excuse me. I need to reel it back in as Sergeant of Arms.
we need to move on.
We're, I'm sorry, with all due respect, we're out of order with the way this meeting is going.
Thank you.
With all due respect, and it's our fault, we let it get to that point. But from here on in, public comments are no longer allowed, all right? Thanks.
Did we come to an agreement on this?
No, but-
Fix
This is what we're looking at so far, Bud. 6100-21 capital expenditures, we're gonna cut it down to 10,000 out of 30. Then 6500-10 maintenance ground, we're gonna cut it to 6,000 out of the 20. Maintenance roads, that's basically, it's covered by the franchise fees. I'm willing to cut the attorney's fees from the ordinance enforcement, which is the abandoned homes, from 5,000. Then we're gonna cut the violation notices from 25,000, we're gonna take 2,300 out of that 25. That'll balance the budget and give us a surplus.
You run the math on that, you're not going by my numbers.
No, I'm going by your numbers.
But you said we cut the 30 to 5, I cut the 30 to 0.
Which 30?
Well,
30 under capital expenditure.
You wanna do that all the way? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah,
do that
if
10.
nobody knows what they are.
Okay, so then I'll restate, 6100-21 capital expenditures, 0. So that gets us plus 30. Maintenance grounds, we're gonna make it 6, so that's plus 14.
Now we reduced it by 3.
17.
Changed it to add the,
So we're gonna reduce it by 3, so now we're gonna bring it to 17.
yeah, that's the 3 to
Okay.
put the flowers in.
And then basically the attorney fees for ordinance enforcement, we're going from 10 to 5.
Right?
And the violation notice of we're taking 2,300 out of the 25. Is that correct?
Right.
So
And we increased the revenue of the civic center revenue to 2,000.
I thought you were doing it for 15.
So we're
Increased it
about,
by.
so we're about adding about 70 back in? Does that sound about right? We're adding about 70 back in?
Take it back in.
We're gonna make up some more money. Get home.
Hold on a second.
We'll get more
I
money.
guess too, that
Plus
Seminars
17
and
plus
training,
5.
scratch that $1,000 out.
That's 1,500. All right, so we're basically, it's 38,520 from what you're taking out. That's what it looks like to me.
No.
Okay,
the numbers.
okay.
Back to the drawing board.
I'll let them wait for it.
All right,
Jeff,
so
I'm confused.
seminars and
as to
training,
whether
there was
yours is put
1,000.
back in there, or is it not?
Seems like it's left alone. It's left alone.
So it's 13 for events, but you got 6.
There's 20,000 in my
It's
budget.
20,000 total.
That's how it's-
But Jeff.
That's what it's
not
at.
on here.
That's where it's
Not on
at.
this one.
About 2,300.
Hang on.
I mean, fix that.
I'm just going light on seminars and travel is 1,500.
I didn't change travel this year.
Yeah, travel.
Check it out, 1,500, yeah.
I mean, who's paying for travel?
Capital expenditures, we're
I
taking out
don't wanna
30.
use my citizens' money for anybody traveling.
Okay, that's fine.
We'll be partying on the, maintenance and ground, we're bring it down 17,000, so that's added that,
We're gonna reduce it 6, but we added 3 back
that's
in.
okay.
Right.
And then we're taking 5 out of the attorney's fees, so that's 5, plus we're taking another 2,300 out, which we're at, where we at?
Who cares?
53,500, 2,500.
Wait till we get to the water.
Oh, you're fine on the water. So we're about 22. We're about at $7,500 that we're taking out of the budget that we're gonna spend. So that gets rid of the deficit.
Say,
We're about $7,500, sorry.
you're $75,000 short.
No.
We're over now.
We're
We're
at
over.
plus,
We're gonna plus.
75,000 or 7,500?
75,000. We're taking deposits out.
No, what?
No, we haven't
Not
made that much of an
75,000.
adjustment.
53,500, yeah, put 75, 55. That's what it's adding up to. Because you're getting rid of $30,000 one lump sum. Just by
That's
getting rid
okay,
of
we
that.
were in the hole more than that.
but you're also added revenue back in. So you're in a positive situation when it comes to the
Not
budget.
75,000.
Add it up. Get your calculator. I'm gonna tell you.
As long as the elements, we agree on the elements, we can do the math out of here.
As long as somebody has it wrote down, I will get Charlotte to fix it.
Okay.
Sherry's writing it down.
We got it written down. I got it right here.
Let me say one more thing before we vote. Jeff is, I don't know that we addressed Jeff's point. Jeff has said that we've always given me, and I want $20,000, and I've only, what we're identifying in here is only 13. And unless that CD stuff is.
No, it's actually 20. If you look under community developments, it's split up into 3. One is for 13, one is for 1,000, one is for 6.
And I'm not sure why it was split like that, but it all adds up under the
It's
same
under-
heading.
it's-
But, I mean.
It's the renovation.
Because of the way the counting is done, because it's not, it has different categories it has to fall
But
into.
It wasn't that like
I
last time.
think the reason they split it off is like the community development other is going to be what he has on his proposed budget for park renovations of $4,500 for the lights and receptacles, all 4 corners of the water
But
fountain.
that's not part of
But
the
that's-
20.
No.
Then it needs to be park.
Huh?
Could it be park?
Well, it's a separate line item. I mean, we got, if we put it on, we got about another $4,500.
Right here, right here. Very next page.
Oh, we don't need to.
It's stuck together.
Yes, we put it in there.
They don't get what you're saying and what Jim's saying. It's not 20, it's 13.
So do we leave it as it is, make the discounts or cuts that we're suggesting, and revise the budget as need be? We could do that.
Well-
As Milt says, we can actually do that.
I mean, this tweaking up there.
Balances the budget, yeah, absolutely,
With the reduced revenue that we made on the taxes.
absolutely.
That balances the budget.
It's at 20. Okay, so what?
I mean, Jeff's okay, everybody's okay, I'm okay, I just didn't, I don't like coming in here and redo something.
I'm not sure why they subdivided.
Last week, I agree with you.
What they said a minute ago on
You
this.
know, I don't know how we got.
6,000 on the other. They said that's for a
But-
bunch of improvements.
No.
No, that's what.
I want to make sure that we're in the green.
Just tell me.
So can somebody tell me that we're in the green?
We need to have that addressed.
We're in the green, we are.
I want to make sure.
We're in the green.
This is what they're referring to. No, go back over to my, right there. This number right here should not be divided.
We give them 7,000. You got to make it.
So that's 19.
You got 74,000.
Okay, we're still there. We're
You're
good.
okay, we're gonna cut here.
Okay. Let's show what they come up with. Okay.
Let's do more.
I'm good.
Any more discussion on this? Can we go ahead and?
Because that's all
get a-
under the same heading
Correct.
of community development. I'm fine with that.
Okay, I call for a vote or whatever that.
I'm
Yeah,
fine with
let's,
that.
let's,
Thank
let's
you.
do that.
So that will
Any
make
more
the events
discussion?
happen.
Any more
Not the
discussion?
Even though it's
13.
not under events.
Not the 13, right, the whole thing. I don't know why it's subdivided. It should not be.
That's what I was trying to point out.
Yeah, it needs
I
to.
mean, you
it
got
should-
13, you don't have 20.
This is, no, I've got 20. This is what she just told me.
Can I leave? Jacob?
Or is it
I'm
19?
just joking with you.
19.
You got 19. I can do with 19 if that's all
I'm
I
just
have.
joking, so-
But the thing is, Jeff, like she said, this is not carved in stone. These
Sure.
budgets are not carved in stone. If
If
you
I need
go
more,
over
yeah.
a little bit,
And
or
I don't
you
want
come
to.
back to the city council, I mean, it's not that.
I'd
big
rather
a
be
deal.
under. That's been my goal the whole time.
All right, let's get a point of order. Let's go ahead and, let's have a motion. Any more discussion? All right. Can I have a motion? First, yes, second?
We have a motion already on the table.
All right.
We're
Got a
Is there any
second?
discussion?
We've already, that's what.
Finish discussion.
Let's vote.
All in favor of passing this with revisions? Aye or nay?
Aye.
Any opposed? Ayes carried. All right, let's move on to the water side so we can hash this one out.
The water side's messy.
It's done.
Well, there's some typos.
I don't know how I did either.
Well, I've gone through it. I mean, this was changed to sewer utilities.
She didn't add this back in, so we probably 48,000 I
did this on the calculator. She didn't have it in her 204, that she put over here for depreciation.
Recess.
Okay?
Well,
It's
I
in
mean,
there.
So,
what time is it?
Not accurate.
No way.
Charlotte didn't put in the right number.
Hey, I'll make a motion for a recess.
Let's don't make it a long one, because we do have,
8
guests
million
here.
things.
Well, we have
Left
guests
to do.
here to, yeah,
Recess?
Yes.
we're gonna take about a
Yeah.
5-minute
I
break.
second, I didn't have a cup of coffee.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Xanax.
Recess does
Margaritas are
nothing.
outside.
I wish they
Prolong our
were.
time.
I should have put it out there. But no, you got the no alcohol signs.
What do you think's going through this guy's mind right here in this blue shirt?
I bet you can't wait to get him. I bet he can't wait.
There is water in the refrigerator if anybody would like to talk about it. No, I was saying there was water in the fridge if
She's
anybody.
hiding the candy now.
No, that's not candy.
What kind of,
Pontiac Forces did, 455, I did this working at, right, teamed up and everything.
it's actually, it's a Pontiac motor in it?
I have a 1970 Pontiac Le Sport.
Yep.
Pontiac 455.
So you need to get with Joey Garaputta. He's a Pontiac king.
I talk to Hartfield all the time, I hang out with Hartfield almost every damn day, but Joey's always busy.
You need to go by his house.
Yep, I didn't think I got his number.
I don't have his number, but I know where he lives. You know where he lives, right?
No, I don't.
So it's in my old house. So you know the drainage ditch right here? He lives right next door to the drainage ditch.
Oh, okay.
It's got a circle driveway with a shop in the back.
I know he's got that yellow fire.
Dude, that guy's a Pontiac guru.
I think his brother helped me on my side with some maintenance. We were talking about my car. He said, yeah, call my brother. I think I called him one time.
Yeah, John Garaputta. Yeah, he's a good guy.
I just didn't know if he shut the shop because it needs a little bit more stuff. I just want the time, I got the money, and I want to get back on the road after Harvey. That's one thing I didn't get out.
Yeah, when I got out of the business, I got out. I just work on my own shit. I'm live right now. So I'm talking like this.
I'll talk to Joey. So, any other shops around here? You want to think about Texas Speed?
I would let them work on my lawn.
It's good to know. Any other shops? If Joey can't do it? I don't want to take it back to Mike Flash. Mike Flash went and flushed everything for me. He also cut my roll cage too. Beat him with the pole.
So after you talk with Joey, if Joey doesn't do it, I'll hook you up with another guy who used to work for me, and he's the best. But he's fickle. He's hard to deal with, but he's worth waiting on. He's still waiting on him right now, and I turned him on to him. But he's good. But if Joey's the man.
All right, I'll call Joey. And I thought about that too. That judge told me that like 2 days ago. The car show kind of ignited me to get my car back on because I've been doing a lot of fire restoration. I need to get my car back.
You guys
All right,
are
well,
local,
appreciate you.
All right, bro.
I'll see you around Tuesday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Houston, okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna change our agenda. Yes, ma'am. We're
I get it. I get it. That's right. Got it off the chair. Look, I'm glad look, they crucified Jesus. They hung him on the cross. We ain't got a chance. You know what I mean? He was perfect. So we ain't got a chance. Well, you get the small town feel. You know, I mean, the car show classic is badass, but it doesn't have that heart.
Point is out here, a lot of those people.
That's right. I saw the picture.
Hey, Jim? As soon as we come back.
They really are.
These guys are.
All working on something.
Because we have to go through all of this stuff. The scoring. They're just basically.
We're gonna have to use your paper place to bring everybody back in.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and get the meeting back to order. Jeff. Bonnie. Jim. Let's bring it back to order, guys. Let's start our meeting again.
There we go.
Okay, you're in charge of the scene.
Well, that shows you the shape people are in.
Yeah, and that's what I told them. I said they don't have it.
Let's go,
I have
Jeff.
to ask Jim. Y'all gotta touch base with Jim, man. I
We
can't.
gotta turn his hearing aid up. All right, Jim, let's go ahead and start this meeting back to.
Come on, Jim.
Back to order. I need to ask you guys, we're gonna have a motion in a second to go ahead and move up selecting of the grant writers, and then we'll come back to Jim, because these guys are out of Houston. So out of courtesy, let's go ahead and have a motion, please,
I motion.
and a second. So what we're gonna do is basically go down to the agenda, and it's going to be 8C. We're gonna start with 8C. It's consideration, discussion, and approval for a grant administrator for the RCP grant based off the recommendations of the review committee. And that's gonna be your resolution 2024-0919.
Behind the dark purple.
Yes, dark purple tab.
Okay,
And you'll,
are these the same grants that were presented
This
to
is-
us that we thumbed up
750.
before?
Yes, but we all
750.
had to read all the packets and go over all the
Exactly.
information inside each of the packets.
Okay.
And then we're presenting them back to you what our findings are, because there's four of us on the committee.
4 on the committee, everybody
And we
is,
read 'em, and
But
then-
it's the same group of people.
Yes,
Is there anything wrong?
No, y'all have to approve.
but we have to approve it.
I know, but y'all said y'all went through them and identified stuff.
we have to, it's like a legal process.
Okay, and then I'm asking you,
Letters and
is there
also
anything
for-
wrong?
No.
No, you've heard from one,
But if
we've
you
heard
look-
from one already, these are two of the others that have been for our business.
And then we're also picking the engineering firm.
Yes, sir. Look over here. If you look, this has, right here. behind the dark one. So this is the resolution. This is what each this is the number one. This is all of our sheets that we have to fill out. This, the top one is the one we're recommending. We go through and see how they scored on each one. And this is for the first grant, and that's for the second grant, and then there's the engineer.
This one made a 97.
Good job.
You would have to be on the review committee to reading through all the packet and everything. That's how it was actually scored. So you guys basically review it. I'll go through and read the tabulation scores. For the RCP grant, for your resolution 0919A, pain empowerment rating was 97, 96, 100, and 96 with an average of 97.25. The next one is GrantWorks, 88, 91, 86, 84 for an average score of 87.25. The next one is Trailer Associates, 71, 94, 93, 89, 84.25 is the average. So the overall highest average score was 97.25 for paid. Any discussion?
So we're still at the same thing, basically, we have an opportunity to bring revenue into this city, and it's not gonna cost us anything.
Correct. As far as we know, there's no,
I don't even
We're
talk about
just-
that, I say,
yeah, I mean, this
Roll.
is just for the
Roll, baby.
administrator. Any discussion?
See these ratings?
yeah.
No discussion. Can I have a
Wilson,
motion,
second.
please?
A motion.
Second?
Yes.
Have all three of are these three different grants now?
No.
No.
Two grants of
So
one
you had to
engineer.
have, for the RCP grant, all we needed was a grant administrator. Y'all make a decision based on the committee's recommendations, if y'all would like to take our recommendation or make a different decision. Then, for the other grant, you have to have a grant administrator and an engineer. So y'all can make a decision on each. The grant administrator and the engineer. The other grant.
Okay,
How
so
much it's gonna
And then again, as Gary said, does that mean that we have to spend money?
No.
If we do, it's gonna be, for some grants, we have to pay like 10%.
Yeah, that's a
It's paid out
given.
of the grant.
But other than that.
Yeah, but it's out of the grant.
Comes out of the grant.
No.
All in favor
No,
of the resolution?
we have
If
to,
the city has an expense, it will, if we have to pay 10% of the grant, we have to pay that 10% out of whatever
grant.
grant we have.
Okay, so we stand to gain, say, 300,000, and we gotta spend 30,000 to get 300,000. I'm in.
Yeah. So
So y'all are-
let's
take that
go
on.
ahead and vote
I'll
on
take
this.
those odds.
Can I have a-
Did Payne, is that right?
Yes, in 97.25. All in favor of?
So wait a minute, these two guys are they gonna talk or what?
Yes,
Well, I
No,
mean,
they're not
they're
talking,
here to
they're just here
observe.
to see our decision.
Because we have to do it publicly. They're here
Yeah,
to
okay,
observe.
okay, I ain't no problem with that.
I wouldn't say anything if I was y'all.
I'm just all
They're
up.
learning, they're learning. They
Let's
won't come
vote.
back
Let's
out here
vote.
no more.
All in favor of Panis, who we do?
I mean, is this the same process we used before, we're gonna vote until we get a,
No, it's the highest
This
score.
is the resolution.
Can we
to
vote on
approve.
all three of them?
No,
No.
on all
'Cause
three.
there's
No, you have to do
different
one at a time.
grants.
Can we just take this in order?
That's-
Let's
Go
just do
ahead.
this.
That's
Bring
what
So
we're
the
doing.
first grant
Is the
first grant,
RCP
we're
grant.
all
is,
six
yeah,
of us
it's the
are going to
RCP
vote
grant.
on one of these three.
One, and the
Yes.
Payne is the one with the highest score.
Okay.
And they're the
So,
ones with the high
all-
score.
I'll make the motion that we accept Payne.
Okay, I thought we
Second.
made a motion. Lonnie,
We already had the motion.
good.
All in favor of Payne Associates or Payne Empowerment, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Who seconded?
I second. Or,
Lonnie
Is
did.
that a roll call vote?
Have y'all ever watched Seinfeld
Yes.
before?
Yes,
The
it is.
Seinfeld
Yeah.
show?
It's a resolution.
Would y'all
It's-
watch this show? If
it's
this is a
Saturday
show,
Night Live.
I'm just telling you, and we
That's
could be
what it
rich
is.
beyond belief if we would just film this.
Roll call vote.
No one could believe it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Hey, Gary,
Hey,
I would watch it.
we could call
Gary,
it the
what's your
council.
vote?
I vote
I
Yeah.
vote.
What, you
Yes.
voted yes?
How do
yes.
you vote, bud?
Yes.
Okay,
Doug
Yes.
Emmons?
Yes.
Yes.
Lonnie,
yes.
okay, everybody.
This is a TV
Yeah,
show.
there you
All
go.
right,
You
all
need
in
to-
favor,
there
it's
we go. Moving
unanimous.
on.
We're going to
I
the next
forgot
one.
about roll call. You guys got me all twisted in my head, I need aspirin.
We're going to the
All
next
right,
one.
we're going to resolution 2024-0919B. And this is for the block grant. All right, the scores are Payne Empowerment, 93, 91.9, 95,
I don't even know where we are.
the average is 91.72.
Hang on, hang on.
It's the next section in your packet.
The next blue tab?
The next blue tab.
Next blue tab, yep.
So who was the motion made by? Okay, here you go.
Who's on first? That's what I want to know.
All right, public management is 86, 97.6, 77, 82, average score of 85.65. Grant works, 77, 98, 79, 87, 85.25. Those are the three. Any discussion?
Does that say 85.25?
Yes.
No discussion?
Can I ask you why you rated it so low?
Here's the check sheet, right behind the yellow sheet that you can review.
Uh-huh.
It's all tabulated,
It's all explained.
it's all there.
Okay.
Sometimes lower scores because the cost, you know, the proposal passed, the proposed cost from the grant people. So there's different criteria within the scoring sheets.
Okay.
That's why you have 4 independent people.
I'll make the motion, we accept that.
Second.
Second.
All right,
Whatever it is.
need a roll call vote. Bud? Yes. Aaron?
Hey, yep. Mhm.
Doug Emmons?
Yes.
Lonnie?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
And Jen? No, okay.
Okay. No?
Always more.
Majority schools are picking, paying for this particular grant.
Where are we?
Well, that's just me. I mean, that's one of our stuff's in there.
Now pick up the
Doesn't have
next
to be
blue tab.
unanimous.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to 2024-0919C. This is for the, where am I at? Texas Community Development Block Grant Program. For the engineering firm. Okay, that's stop and think. All right, basically, CDBG-TDA grant for the engineering firm. The tabulation scores for LJA, 100, 95, 98, 95, average of 97. The next engineering. Engineering.
For the block grant.
For the block grant. Fits and shipment, 85, 93, 90, 80, 84, average 85.5. Sutex Engineering, 70, 90, 77, 70, average score of 76.75. Any discussion?
We'll make a motion.
Motion? Second?
Whatever
Second.
All right, Bud, what's your vote?
Yes.
Yes? Gary?
Yeah.
Doug Emmons?
Yes.
Lonnie?
Yes.
Jeff?
Yes.
Jim Wright?
Yes.
That is,
And now the dark green tab.
we already did E. That's E. Oh, we just did. Now we're going to F. That's the spending policy. We're going to skip that. We're going to go back to the. Quick question for you guys. Do you want to continue on down and leave the budget for the last for Public Works? Because we only have,
Don't we have another one of these?
no, that was it.
That was it?
Basically, the next one, if we continue on down the line for F, is rescinding the resolution for the city spending policy.
Point of order, wait a minute. I've got one that says 0919D.
D,
Yes.
That's a totally different subject.
That's a different thing, that's not, that's.
Okay,
that's the spending
This is
policy.
one we voted on.
So.
Is that the spending policy?
Yeah.
Is that what we're gonna do?
Appreciate you coming
Later,
out.
bud.
Thank you, guys, sorry.
So, and we can go on to the spending policy and then go back to Jim, I mean, however you guys want to do it.
Let's do the spending policy. We're
All right,
there.
so, consideration, discussion, approval of rescinding the resolution for the spending policy.
I'll
which-
make that motion.
I'll second.
Any discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead, Bud.
Okay, there's some stuff that needs to be put in here, and I think Sabrina is aware of it.
And it's
Okay?
in your docket, not put it.
Yeah, taken out.
Taken
Number
out.
five.
No,
Number
put in
five.
also. Put in. You're the one that said we needed to put it in, by the way.
Where are you at?
I said take out number five, and take out about putting them in.
Okay, we're taking out number 5. You did say something about putting something in, so we disagree, but we agree to disagree. You said that on number 2 there, that
Oh,
it
yeah,
should
yeah, yeah.
say,
Sorry, excuse me.
thank you, Sabrina.
Excuse
Oh my
me,
God,
I'm sorry.
you mean Bud is right?
We need to put that word "or" in there. It says, city council members and authority to expend city or public utility, okay? It needs to say city or public utility, and Sabrina is the one that brought that up. And I appreciate that. No, I appreciate that you did that, because it didn't make any sense to me when I read it. And then
Basically,
Sabrina
what we're
said, well,
doing-
"or" needs to be put in between those two words, and then it makes sense,
And
right?
basically what we're doing is we're taking the city's spending policy, and it's only going to be used if it affects the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens only. That's
Right.
an emergency situation, like booster pumps go out for $20 an hour.
So what does that say to the spending limit? You explain to everybody what that means to the spending limit for each individual council person.
Everything comes to city council. That's basically what it is.
As it
But now,
should
a
be.
budgeted approved item does not have to come to council unless they want to go over that budget. That's the whole thing. You've got to remember the difference between the two. This gives us the ability, all 6 of you guys, to spend $2,500 in an emergency situation. Tree falls on the road, call somebody, go cut it. That's an
We're gonna do
emergency
that.
situation. I'm just giving you an example.
Hypothetical.
If Jim's chlorinating thingamajiggy goes out in the water plant, he has the right to spend up to $2,500 because that's an emergency, that's health and safety. we can do that.
And we all need to keep in mind that we can call an emergency meeting, we can call a
Absolutely.
special meeting.
Special
we can
meeting,
call,
emergency
you
meeting,
know,
we can do that.
Whenever something,
Because Gary would love to come to another
when
meeting.
something happens, it's bad, you know, we can come. We did that a bunch during our.
He's gotta come to the next meeting, because he's gotta bring cake.
Gary, how many days?
Who's bringing
We got
cake?
2 left.
The last people, the last.
And you can miss those two if you
Outgoing
wanted
councilmen
to.
have to bring cake,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Doug and Gary,
Special.
We'll make the
maybe
coffee.
me.
All right, so from my understanding, Bud, you want to take out number 5, which says, nothing shall prevent a city council member from requesting authority from the mayor to spend up to $10,000 for expenditures specifically related to specific enumerated job duties that the council member has accepted and that city council has designated as a job duty as so long as the funds are available and approved within the budget.
Yes,
So they
because you just said that.
Correct.
That we're gonna come to city
Exactly.
council, that contradicts that.
So we can
Okay,
take
so
that
we're
out.
gonna remove it, we're gonna exit out.
Exit out.
Okay.
That's not a problem. And keep in mind, as long as it doesn't conflict with Chapter 252, which is the government code that Milt also referred to, because the government code, we must follow it. We are a municipality, we follow state law. So just to let you guys know.
And then,
And then there's a continuation, 3,000 to 50,000, we have to use underutilized contractors for contracted out bids.
okay, now, and then reiterating this, for non-emergency circumstances, the council member shall submit a request for approval to city council during a regular, emergency, or specially called meeting. That
What
means
number is
if I need to do something, we call a meeting.
What number is that, Bud?
That's number 4, it's right above it.
If it's outside of your assigned duties.
Budget.
Yeah.
I mean, it's outside, or more money, you know,
Talking
to
about this?
spend.
Yeah, number 4.
Right.
No, this is the sheet he's talking about.
Huh?
He's talking about being outside of the assigned duty, this is what you're referring to, correct?
Well,
Right here.
say, I've got,
Non-emergency.
let's just say I've got an event.
Yeah, I was talking about that.
And I brought the event to council, it's itemized, this is where I see the money being spent, this is how the money will be spent. If it exceeds 2,500,
Then,
Then it
it's
comes to
already been
council.
approved. After I get it approved, I don't have to come back to council for anything on that particular event.
right.
Right.
Well, so are you saying that all the events that you outlined in that thing right now are already approved, so you
No.
don't have to come back to council?
No,
It's
I'm
just
not.
proposed.
Just clarifying that.
All right, any more discussion, Bud?
I can't see that.
And
Lon?
can we have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Second?
All in favor of approving this with the revisions, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, passes with revisions. Discussion, consideration, discussion, and approval of the 2024 tax rate after the comments, which we've already had. We have generally decided on the 120.
Yes.
Which is somewhere on my table here. Any discussion further on this? Because I think we've discussed it today.
I think, no, we can,
Then can we have a motion
a motion,
We talked about
and
this.
have a second?
We're gonna hammer
A
that.
second.
All in favor of passing it at the 120, which is the
.309.
.1309 rate that we've already talked
Yes.
about. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, ayes have it. So now we can go back and let's go do Jim's budget for the water department.
Okay,
What tab is
it's a purple.
It's the purple one.
Over there.
first one?
Now, before y'all start ripping my rear end, there's been some numbers have been tweaked on this from,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
there's some numbers that are mixed up that Charlotte sent the wrong numbers over.
Yeah, she did. But Jim, I have the original from last week, that helps.
I know, but that's a preliminary,
Yeah, it is preliminary.
so we can't go by that.
well, this
We're
needs
approving the
to
budget.
be, I mean, I guess, you know, I was kind of going through here from what my notes were from the last time, and the total number's not that far off, I don't think.
Well, it is,
Ended up-
because she didn't add that other end back in there, so it's way off.
Well,
off
I mean,
150
this,
grand.
you could, this is right here, it's a user fee versus what we have to pay on the bond. So this is what we're really dealing with right here.
I know what we're really dealing with and what we I know what you're talking about, but I'm just saying that this stuff needs to be corrected because she did not add in that we're $204,000.
No, that doesn't go in there.
It just
Well,
goes back,
okay, yeah,
added
it
back
It
in.
does.
No, this
is gonna be at a deficit.
It's down.
This is the debt service payment. This is what we're paying on the, bond issue.
I understand
And,
that.
and this is
Look at
the user fee, this is how much we charge the people, and this is the deficit on that.
Look at what you're negative.
Okay, this is added to this. The 23 to that is 155, okay?
That's right.
This right here, this 23, if you remember, last year when we reduced that user fee to $6,
Yes, sir.
we said we could cover that in our budget. So there's a $24,000 right here. That's what that is. That's what's in the budget to cover this.
I'm not even talking about
it's
any
not-
of that, but can I just tell you that they didn't add back in
Matter of fact, there's signs out there.
No, I know,
depreciation
yeah, I know what you're
to
saying.
make your thing balance.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're $155,000
No,
behind.
I added it right here.
Why we didn't see those?
You added it right there.
parking signs all
And I'm plus
Even if
72,000.
it's not even some stuff, I had to go out there and make people move off the lines. Move off
You gotta
the
take
deck.
some out. because-
Well, this, yeah, but this is
asphalt and the
kind of
fence
silly money here. The 204 right there would be.
You should be plus $48,857.
Yeah, and but, yeah, it's taken me a year to understand this.
But you taught me.
I know it, but
Round and round and round.
I didn't teach you this, because I didn't understand this. This right here doesn't have anything to do with a normal,
It doesn't. It doesn't.
it is our user fee.
Jim, I'm looking at the proposed and I'm seeing the changes. I mean, she does have it. The only difference is she didn't subtract out the depreciation from the bottom line of 155, which gives us actually a positive number.
No, I know that, but some of those other numbers.
Some
were-
of the other numbers aren't the same either, though, Sherry.
Right, because we reduced some. You can see the reduction.
For example, grounds maintenance, it was 12,
FYI, when we do our next budget meeting, we're gonna make all these decisions in the budget.
You go get the
see, I thought we
true.
had.
That's what I thought too.
But
Now, what Bud
Very
says is
very
this just doesn't
transparent.
show that.
Correct.
There's where he should be, Sherry.
I got 48, I got 49. So no, I mean,
I got 48, you got
it's
49.
basically a
Same.
typo. I don't see anything in his budget. Don't give us.
No, not cut. We're not talking about cut, but the numbers aren't correct.
So why don't we pass it with revisions? We
This,
should be okay with it. You've got 49, you've got, or actually you've got 49.
Yeah, it's $300 difference.
Exactly, so we're okay. I'm telling you.
I'm in.
I'm in too.
Way too much.
I just want to,
We're going there.
well,
I just want to approve whatever's the right.
no, I mean, they just left they left that off there because it shows up here as an expense, and that's what makes that expense negative. So technically, that's plus
All right, so if
72.
you guys are happy with passing this
really
budget with the
72,000.
revisions, adding back in the depreciation, can I have a motion?
Adding back in the depreciation and then correcting the numbers on here.
That's
that
correct,
have
with
been
a
tweaked,
correction.
right?
Can I have a motion?
I don't care about whether that gets
I motion.
tweaked or not, it's not
Can I
that
have a second?
significant.
All in favor of
Aye.
passing the water side of the budget? Any opposed?
Who seconded it?
Keep this thing on.
Budget.
That's it.
Okay, we passed that, now where we at? All right, now we're to our discussion. Basically, the first discussion up is going to be the repair for the event center. This is a discussion only. If you guys want to make it into an action item, you have the right to make it into an action item, but somebody has to call for a vote.
Okay,
What?
you said add the
Depreciation back in at the line item. I'm coming up with,
There's some more numbers that need to be tweaked. Jim's gonna have to show you though.
We can look at that, but I'm not, none of us,
I didn't know what it is.
I'm coming up with a positive balanced budget at 49,000. Bud has a positive balanced budget at 48,000, so this is $300 difference.
There's 300.
But I have the notes here and there.
That was the donuts you bought.
Yes, so I mean, basically, the balanced budget for the
He
water
was
side
at
is
negative
fine.
155.
It's all because
I
she
mean,
didn't
you're
put
out.
the depreciation out.
You don't even
I'll
work.
be more than that car show debit that
All
I
right.
had.
Okay, let's get back to this, guys, we're almost done.
Almost there.
We're gonna discuss the repair of the roof, and this is a discussion So, being that Jeff got the bids for the roof, may I have you take over, Jeff?
Certainly.
What's he say?
So I'm not sure if these three companies are listed on the Smart Buy program. I was not aware of that when I called them, but I did call these three companies. There's three separate lines of thought here. One is completely a different process. Two of them want to make sure all the screws are in, great. One of them actually wants to replace all the screws, great. I'm looking for the one who gives us the best price and the longest warranty. There was one bid in particular, I did get three, who guarantees his work, guarantees the windstorm, and it's to rust inhibit the entire roof, make sure all the holes are filled with screws, and then some kind of way put a vapor barrier and then plywood and then a coating over that. Because there's so many rust holes on this metal, it is not to replace the metal, it is to overcoat the metal. And that bid was almost $40,000. He is
The
already
bid to replace all the metals, 40,000?
No, sir. There is not anything in here to replace the metal.
So we'd have a plywood roof with a coating on it?
Correct. Yeah. They would lathe, plywood, and then a coating. And he would offer a warranty. Oh, and this has got sales tax on it. So take the sales tax off. It's 36 grand. And that would be a 10-year workmanship warranty. And he would also have the engineer follow it to make sure that we have a windstorm insurable roof. I got one from American Roofing and Construction. Theirs was quite interesting. They would do the whole OSFO, or it's a three-part proprietary name brand system where they deox, and then they prime, and then they coat. And this has a 50-year product warranty. That's a long way.
It'll be 130.
That's a long way, and it's only $24,000.
140, actually.
So that seems to be a pretty decent price.
What was the price?
$24,000
Okay.
for a 50-year warranty.
And what do they do? Just put a coating on it?
No. It's a three-step process.
Oh, I heard it. Wash it and prime it.
Replace bad screws.
Yeah, there's a 1, 2, and a 3 part of that same proprietary process.
Okay.
And then M&M Roofing came out as well, and they offered some of the same. It's a built-up elastomeric silicone. It's the same product that American Roofing is going to put on. However, it only has a 10-year warranty, and it's $25,000. So the cheapest cost actually has the longest warranty. So up for discussion. Again, I need to see.
Can we do this in-house? Is it possible to put screws in the roof and rust inhibit the roof and basically paint the roof? There's a lot of different things out there, coatings that you can put on the roof that we could roll on in-house.
When you say in-house, what do you mean by in-house? I mean, just,
Use our part-time people to do it.
Yeah.
okay, so my only,
$32 an hour.
I don't
for
know.
two guys.
And correct me if I'm wrong, my only reserve with that is, would that void out,
We would have zero warranty on that.
Zero warranty.
But we'd also have about a zero investment.
No, I'm just, I mean, I mean,
That's the deal right
like-
there.
We have windstorm now.
right, but does it, but even if we have windstorm and we get someone that's not certified to come, because I mean, this
That's
is
a
off.
question over my pay.
But that's, I mean, I'm going off of something that I've done personally. And we get the roof done, and you get somebody to do it that's not certified. I mean, I think once you put the roof on, you have to go and get windstorm to come in.
Lonnie, I can assure you that whatever coating goes on here, this particular coating does not have to be windstorm. You don't need a WPI on this at all. Only if you apply something on the top of it, like the plywood, would you need that.
Correct, but
We're just
again, in the
basically
case that we do have some wind come through and it gets damaged or recovered because some work has been done to it. That's all I'm asking.
If we
Yeah.
have windstorm, that's the question.
We got windstorm on the building now, so if we paint the roof, theoretically, if we paint the roof, it's not gonna affect our windstorm
Correct.
policy.
We have windstorm now.
Yes.
They approved it with the roof we had?
Do we have documentation on that?
We have
Pay.
a policy
I
yet,
just-
but I already paid for it.
We paid.
Okay, we need to check WPI on that to see if they followed through with it, because otherwise it's just a fig Newton of our imagination.
Well, we paid.
It doesn't matter, if the state doesn't have
Go
it,
ahead.
if the state doesn't have it and it's pending, then we don't have it.
Okay.
Okay, we've talked about this before, okay?
I hate to
These
burn this corner
companies
crap.
are not in the Texas Start Buy program. We cannot use them.
But we can use our own people.
We can use our own people, okay? So these bids are basically null and void.
It's a guide
okay?
to give
Well,
us
they're
an
not
idea of
null
the
and
cost.
void if they're on the list, and I just said I've got to check to see if they're on the list.
It's a guide.
That's what, you didn't let me finish.
Well, you said it's null and void, and I'm
If
sorry.
they're
it
not,
didn't work
if they're
as well.
not on the Smart Buy program, you cannot use them,
I understand, we opened with that statement. Yeah.
okay?
Any more discussion? All right, we're gonna move on to 9B, which is discussion of community development spending recap. And that's Jeff's baby.
What?
What are we doing?
Oh, we're gonna talk about, community development spending recap? I can take your spreadsheet if you like.
Oh, my
I mean, we
spreadsheet,
sort
my
of kind of
spreadsheet.
talked
We
about it.
talked
Are we
about
talking
it.
about my, the car show? Or are
If
you
you'd
talking
like.
about my budget that I turned in?
Oh, no, car show. Let's talk the car show.
Let's talk the car show.
Yeah. Car show guy.
Okay. So, good, thank you. This is preliminary because the money's still coming in. We can give the Cliff Note version. Do you have it in front of you?
Which one is that, Jeff?
It's on the very back.
It's the very last part of
Okay,
the
okay.
Go to your
packet.
back cover.
Last one.
So,
Got it.
this was produced within 72 hours of having the event. So that's why I marked
And
it
Jeff can tell you,
preliminary.
I bugged him almost every day.
Incessantly,
Show me my
to the
money.
point of exasperation.
But he still loves me, sort of, kind of.
Most of the time. So, we have, on the left corner, the left column is a list of either the vendors that showed up, the food trucks, who sponsored what with regards to how it affected the city. Because there's things that happened with, like Texas Tire, other things, it was just it was a drawing. They provided services I'm not privy to. It was what they gave tickets for. We drew, we gave it away. There was nothing that changed hands through our committee. It was something that they approached Taz with and said they wanted to be a part of our car show. Sponsorship, and then there's how many cars we had, the shirt sales to date, which this has already changed, and then our expenses. So, the first one, we had the bread bus. They paid $150, and all of those green totals goes down to our receipts, which is $26.69.
That's for the Boy Scouts, yeah.
Oh, thanks. Oh, thanks. That's the movie night.
I'm
Thanks.
passing these out for you, Jeff. 'cause-
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Coastal Roofing provided a $1,000 check. They were asked to sponsor. Taz said he had all the trophies taken care of except for the best of. And if y'all saw any of the trophies, some of them were 4 and 5 foot tall. They were impressive trophies, which some of the car people say, I'm not in it for the trophies. Well, but they show up every weekend and pay their dues. So anyway, because Jerry and I have been friends for a very long time, and if you know anything about this area, anytime I think about a roof, I think about Coastal Roofing, because his signs are everywhere, and this is all he's ever done. So I went to Jerry, we're personal friends, and I told him that I got something for you, just write a check for $1,000 and I'll tell you what it's for. And he said, come get it. He wasn't even there, but he wrote the check, left it on his desk. And then he said, what did I write that check for? I said, because it's for the trophies, the best of the best trophies for our car show. And I consider him a personal friend and the best of the best in the roofing industry around here. And that's what all the trophies showed. Anyway, he wrote a check to the city of Bevel Oaks. The city of Bevel Oaks then wrote the exact same check for, or the same amount to Beaumont Trophies. And so that was money in, money out, no expense to the city whatsoever. And I did not have my city council shirt on when I talked to him. I've known him for more than 30 years probably. Kirksey, what can I say about Doug? He absolutely took it to the court with us. He did all of our signs, all of our printouts, everything except the banners. He would have done the banners had he had more time. Those banners is something that I bought personally. And we went through another company and I took care of every bit of that. We had 39 cars on the park and for whatever reason they decided to charge less. I would have charged more because it was in the shape. We had 10 cars on the boulevard for a total of 49 cars. We had 33 shirts sold at the event, and so far we've added another 25 in sales to that, which is why I mentioned this is preliminary, because everything that sold from here on out drives this number down, which is the total cost to the city on the bottom right, is $22.75. So, and there were some things that I forgot to put in here because it was just so new, so fresh. I did not put the whatever we paid to the lawn service. I think it was $250.
Yeah.
So I put that in my update, and
That's your community development other budget.
Got it.
It's covered.
Well, it's not, that's
Yeah.
not in the next budget, that's already passed.
But for future reference.
Yeah.
That's what that other would be
Yeah.
for, I would think. Okay. And then on our expenses, this is what Taz spent on trophies. All of these red lines, that's what he paid or I paid. This is what was incurred with the car show. So with the receipts of $26.69, our expenses were $3,700. So the event between myself and he was $1,105. The city bought the shirts for $32.27, excuse me, and they wrote that check for $1,000, which was offset because we received $1,000. And then the Boy Scouts or the Cub Scouts wrote us a check for $127 because we had agreed to split the funds on the snow cones and the popcorn.
For the movie night and also the car show, is that correct?
That is correct.
So that's why it's 127, even though it says 65, negative 65 here.
Right,
So it
that's
covers
correct.
both, so, yeah.
So altogether, they sold $300 or $280 worth of snow cones and popcorn.
4th of July, we did.
They were
about
busy
five-
dudes.
We did about 500 on those 4th of July.
Yeah. So anyway, at this point, the total cost of the city is about $2,200, and we have stock to back that up. And every time we make a sale on those shirts, that number further comes down. So to have a successful show, and I've got a stack of emails that are coming up from people that attended the show, that are just, I'm compiling those. I'll put them up on the website under a tab under our events. It's really a positive. Just one little anecdote. There was a lady at the trophy shop whenever Taz was picking up trophies, and she saw him loading these big 4 or 5 foot trophies, and she goes, "Oh my God, where's that going?" He said, "To the Boogie on the Bayou car show." She goes, "Well, I'm not really a car person. Where's this going to be?" He said, "In Bevel Oaks." She says, "Oh my God, I used to live in Bevel Oaks." She came to the car show because she saw the trophies, and her emails to me was just beautiful. She says, and Jim, to your point, when you said, let's make this real nice at the entrance, and Bud, whenever you said, let's get it all looking nice, we left the flags up. She said when she turned off a 105 on the Sweet Gum, she felt like she was coming home. It has a really good feel to it. Y'all have done a great job with the city, is what she told us.
Who was this, Jeff?
Last name is Carol. Somebody, last name of Carol, and I'll get her emails printed out. We've been back and forth. She wants to buy a shirt, so I'm going to bring one to her her business, but it won't be at $16. It's gonna be 25, plus delivery maybe, I don't know.
Depends on where she works.
Right. So, true to our commitment, all of our shirts, our shirt booth used our card reader. It was cashless. The first couple of transactions, because it wasn't set up 100%, were cash. But the people who were there manning the booth took their cash and then swiped their card once we got the card reader going. So everything literally transpired on the machine. Every sale has been accounted for. And it went automatic to our bank account. Is that correct?
Yes.
It's already in our
I got
bank
an
account.
email
Nobody
for it.
touched a thing.
I got an email.
So we've been to the detail of counting the blue tickets that each individual got. I'm 4 tickets short, and those were some of the 4 main winners, but I've got every number accounted for. So everything balances.
Mine was 0.50.
Say again?
Mine was 0.50.
0.50?
How'd the 50/50 come out?
The 50/50 was with Camp Iron Bluffs. I do have their 501c3 information. They had a total of 300 minus their, no, I think it was 350 minus their entry, their booth fee. And so in front of everybody, we counted everything up, all the cash and everything. So we split 150 with Camp Iron Bluffs and the winner.
And the winner was from here in Bevel Oaks.
I saw her.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so now, the only last question that I got is going back to resolution 2024-014A. I made the motion and you seconded it, okay, for a spending limit, unless you come before city council, this is when we revise the spending limit, that we have a $2,500 spending limit without pre-approval by the city, as long as funds are available in the public, or whatever. Okay, city or public utility department. Now, since you spent $3,227 on t-shirts, how do you justify that without coming to council?
Because I brought everything to council. I brought everything to council and I gave reports every single time, bud.
Okay. So you told us at the meeting that you were spending that money on, that much money on.
I told you every time we're gonna front load the t-shirts. I told you what my budget was going to be. I'm gonna stay under that budget of
I'm not
5,000.
trying to get angry, I'm saying.
You are. You're
But-
trying to raise my blood pressure, but you're not going to,
he
because
did
I'm.
No, I'm not, I'm saying is so the money that you spent, you were gonna front load the t-shirts, okay? Because I remember you saying that, I think the mayor and I were in the meeting, and you said that you bought 200 or 300 t-shirts.
Oh, okay, shirts.
250.
250, okay, you said 200 or 300, but whatever, so that's 200 or 300. But we never did, I'm just saying, can we follow our rules that we set forth?
They were followed.
Well, I'll take the blame on some of this, because what he's talking about when he brought it to council was in his report.
It was in the discussion.
It was in the discussion.
It
It was
wasn't like
in
you
a-
brought it to council and we
Correct.
approved it.
I should have noted that it should have been an action item. So again, you've been on council for a long time, I'm still new, he's new, we got new people. Mistakes were made, he's admitted that,
I mean,
maybe we need to make some changes. We all have to make changes, let's learn and try to move on.
If
So-
we're gonna do it, let's all do it. I mean, that's all. I'm saying.
Absolutely.
I mean, I wanna do it. I'll bring it all.
So what's different in this than the Independence Day that you didn't raise anything with? I mean, I spent $4,400 on an Independence Day, and you didn't have this.
You came to council and asked about the firecrackers. You said you were gonna spend this much money on fireworks. Okay.
Exactly like I did about the car show, bud. Everything was
You ne-
identical.
Jeff, okay, well, I'm not gonna argue with you.
Thank you. That's
Raising your
the
blood
best
pressure.
news I've heard all
You never
night.
came to council and said we were gonna spend $3,327 on t-shirts. You did not do that. But if you say you did, then in your mind you did.
Then that's insane.
Am I reading something wrong? I mean, I don't know, correct me if but from here, under t-shirts, it says, 33,
That's what we sold at the event.
Oh, that's what you sold? Okay. All right, how many did you purchase?
250,
250.
At what cost?
3,300. It's right here. Right there. There's the t-shirt cotton cargo. Right there. My
Yes,
entire event.
you can beat this to death. The bottom line is.
Bottom line is-
There were some earnings that needed to be made. We made them. Jeff's pointed that out. You know, I personally would like to see them break even or make money. It didn't happen. It was a very successful show, got very positive feedback. I was there all day. I even got a plaque.
I talked to Taz about it. You know, I had a 2-hour conversation with Taz and his wife the other evening about the car show, because some things were said, and I wanted to clear the air there. Okay, so, and we did, as far as I know, we did. Now, I told Taz, I said, it would probably be in your best interest to lease the park for the next car show, and then that would take the city's liability out of the car show. He totally agreed with that, and I said, if you come to me or anybody on council and say you want to have a car show, we will more than likely give you the park.
And that rental agreement for the park has to be brought to city council
That-
for approval,
I'm just saying, we
just like we did the
approved it.
civic center.
And
Yeah.
was the conversation held with Drew about having that available for this car
But
show?
because we didn't have the time.
Right.
That's the only reason it wasn't done. So I mean,
Maybe
it
we
was
just
considered.
planned our.
You know, I don't know when you kick this around. I think they've done,
I gotta-
they're trying to learn.
No, but I'm saying is Taz said if he leased the park,
Then we leave
Yeah.
him
We
alone
agree on
and let
that.
him do his
then he
thing.
could do it.
We
He could
agreed
do-
on that.
Yeah, he could do his thing all by himself.
Doesn't
Sits
matter
out.
whether it's a city event or an individual.
And I'll tell you, buddy,
It's
even though
still
this
gonna be
is,
at Bevel Oaks.
this is not on the agenda, and I've talked to Taz about this, being that I've been volunteered to do Breakfast with Santa, I've asked Taz to do another car show, okay? The entry fee, instead of $35, is going to be a toy. That's their entry fee, to be given out by the drivers of the cars to the children of Bevel Oaks. That's what I'm envisioning, which will cost us no money. So it's win-win. I mean, it's a good community development idea.
Yeah, that's what
So-
I'm saying. I mean,
so, I mean,
if
this is
we bring
something that-
people together by them
Absolutely.
putting something
Yeah,
in.
Gary can bring his motorcycle. I want to see the race car. So I mean, and it's again, I mean, we're trying to learn and we're trying to
We have primed
move
the pump.
on.
This pump has been primed for
Absolutely.
community development.
You know, and it's like, I don't know of any Toys for Tots that I've participated with, because I'm in the toy industry, that would be more fun than something like that. Because everybody does Blue Santa or Wounded Warriors or stuff like that, so why not? Because the kids in Bevel Oaks, we haven't given anything to, except for the last time I donated back in, what, 2018 or 2019, that was the last time.
Well, it was probably before this, before.
Well, I mean, I donated toys after Harvey, but we haven't done that in a while. You know,
Well,
we feed them and that's about it.
I'd like to piggyback on that. Since the car show, I've had 2 phone calls with different people wanting to host a Chef's Choice meal competition at the park.
Yeah.
If we do this car show like we were talking about in the first week or so of December,
They can cook instead of me.
and then we can have this Chef's Choice. We've had people want to do briskets, chili, chicken and dumplings,
We tried
gumbo.
a chili one time.
And whenever, everybody brings their stuff together, completely cost neutral for the city.
Absolutely.
Because everybody brings their own stuff. We sell the dollar tickets, and they take those dollar tickets and they spend it, either $1 for a taste, or you can put $5 a bowl or what have you. But we put that all together at the same time, and you have this massive community involvement.
I like that idea.
And everything we just talked about stems from this
Tab group,
$2,200 investment in t-shirts.
that's good.
So, I think it's money well spent.
Anything further, or can we adjourn the meeting?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And, actually, we have one more. Designated, or do we want to put that on hold, Bud, like I asked, until after November?
That's
It's-
fine, it don't
okay.
matter to me.
Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Please.
Motion to adjourn.
First, second,
Second.
Okay.
All
What time
right.
does Votro's
Thank you
close?
for
They've
coming.
been closed.
They're closed.
They're actually having